We've got Calvin Emeka who joins us, and I don't know if he's as excited as a lot of Nigerian football fans. Calvin, good to have you with us on the show today. Great victory for Nigeria. Some fans are asking, where was this performance all through the qualifiers? While some of the opinion that we had 4 coaches lead Nigeria just to qualify for playoffs. How interesting is that for Nigerian football, Calvin?
Thank you for having me. You see that part you said about the number of coaches we've had? That is precisely why we are in this situation. The Football Federation messed it all up in the sense that we could not have a fixed coach to take us through these qualifiers. And that's a problem. Nobody, I cannot think of any country that has had this number of coaches handle one set of qualifiers. It is bad. It's actually horrific when you think about it. We started with Jose Peseiro, we went to Augustine Gabon, Finidi George, and now with Eric Chelle. I am very happy that at least we're still alive. I'm really pleased about that we're still alive and we still have a chance of making it to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The other things, I'm not shifting the importance or trying to dismiss all the other things that have brought us to this point. When I was on your show on Friday or Saturday before, and I did say that I expected us to beat Benin. I expected to beat Benin very well. I didn't know if it was going to be enough to qualify us automatically. It wasn't enough in the end, but it has still kept us alive. So that's we would let's carry on. Let's hopefully carry on into March and then finally into the tournament proper. Then we can come back and criticize those who have failed at their jobs that brought us to this level in the first place.
All right, Calvin, in your own opinion now, good enough, we've beaten Benin, or rather Benin Republic. Now we're going to face Gabon. And, after Gabon, we need to face the winner between Cameroon and Burkina Faso before going to the international playoffs. In your own opinion, considering everything that has happened, considering this current squad and Eric Chelle, in my own opinion, I still do not think that Eric Chelle has set up this team in the best way tactically. But in your own opinion, what is the best way for us to move forward? Does he still stick with his 4-4-2 and just try and get this team all the way to the World Cup? Or at what point would he address the tactical issues? Because I believe that him moving away from the diamond to go into a flat 4-4-2 might be him probably realizing that, look, this formation does not suit these players, but let's go back to the basics and then let's build from there. But what do you think he should do, in your opinion?
You have to remember that this game, he came into yesterday's game without Ademola Lookman. Frank Onyeka was not in camp at all. Fisayo Dele Bashiru was also not available. So, and then we had to win yesterday. We had to win. Not only did we have to win, we had to score quite a few goals. So, and what I like about what he did, he gambled. I am somebody, I grew up on the time when Clemens Westerhoff used to coach the Super Eagles. And during qualifiers, Westerhoff was a great gambler. So Alex Ferguson was also a gambler. You gamble with your team. So he gambled with his selection for yesterday's game by playing 2 strikers. It was made easy for him because Ademola Lookman was not available. And those 2 other midfielders I mentioned, Fisayo Dele Bashiru, who is probably our best attacking midfielder at the moment, who has goals in him, was also not available. So he had to do what he had to do with that team. I don't think that going into the game against Gabon, I don't think he will do that. Touch wood, I'm hoping that we'll have everybody fit, because as much as we can rightly criticize the NFF with regards to the number of coaches we've had, Finidi George, when he was in charge, was very unlucky in terms of the players he had available to him. He never had Victor Osimhen available. And we haven't won any game without Victor Osimhen. So we need Victor Osimhen wrapped in cotton wool that he will be available for the game for the matches in Morocco. So yes, when everybody is fit, that's when to understand. That's when we can decide what he's going to do. Let me tell you what I really love about Eric Chelle. He is not shy to make the big decision. Mm-hmm. If we had beaten Zimbabwe, we would have been at the World Cup automatically.
Yes.
And the reason we considered that cheap goal to Zimbabwe was William Troost Ekong, who failed in his responsibility to clear that ball for that equalizer in the last minute. Eric Chelle, I think, has never forgotten that. So that's why when everybody is fit, he prefers to play the young Frederick boy instead of William Troost. And that, for me, is a coach who is very comfortable in his decision making. He's a coach who is assured in what he wants to do. So that for me tells me that we're in safe hands. I personally, I was worried about his hiring, but everything he has done since has told me that this is a man who knows what he wants to do. It's very important. He knows what he wants to do. He's prepared to stick with his decisions, and they've paid off thus far. So I'm certain that when Fisayo Dele-Bashir is available, when Ademola Lookman is available, he is most likely going to revert to Victor Osimhen as his single striker, and then his three midfielders.
All right, talking about Eric Chelle, so I don't think the problem is even about the coach and heading into the games in November. It's about the NFF. They don't come to the decision to let him go and say, look, he didn't get us to the World Cup, let's get someone else. Take a look at... But you will agree with me that in the space of 2 years, we've had 4 coaches coach the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Take a look at Hugo Bruce, the manager for South Africa. He has qualified them to the World Cup. He said the work they've done right there in South Africa is something that they've been doing for 3 good years. Now he has landed them at the World Cup in USA, Canada, and Mexico. So I think they should let Eric Chelle stay back, do the job for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, qualify or not qualify for the World Cup. Even if you lose out at the AFCON, allow this man take charge of the Super Eagles until maybe after the World Cup, if we qualify for the World Cup. But I want us to talk about an angle that we're not looking at, the goalkeeping department. Do you think that Nwabali is too comfortable in his position? Because we've seen his attitude in games, in about 3 games, Lesotho, South Africa, and then Benin Republic. His attitude has not been anything to write home about. There was a scenario that happened yesterday against Benin Republic, which I think that should have been a goal for Benin Republic. There was a time Benin Republic played a free kick. Yes, this is a situation. There was a free kick played. He caught the ball. Yes, he was fouled, but the referee did not blow the whistle for a foul. And then he rolls the ball on the field. A Benin Republic player put the ball into the back of the net. Don't you think that if this was European football, it should be counted as a goal and an oversight for Nwabali, who people have said he is too confident, too comfortable in that position? This should have been a clear goal, Calvin.
Let me start by saying I don't think Eric Chelle is going to be sacked.
Okay.
I believe strongly that he'll be in position all through the AFCON. We've made a blunder in the sacking of the timing of the sacking of General Raw, and that cost us the 2022 World Cup qualification because of the timing, not just because he was sacked, but it was the timing, and we didn't get adequate replacement. He was just sacked for political reasons. But that's aside. On Stanley Nwabali, I don't think what is happening has to do with competition. I don't think that it has to do with competition. Nwabali is an excitable young man. That's how he keeps. That is how he is. He wants to be really involved. He wants to show that the penalty area is his own area, and he wants to dominate it. But he needs to be calmed by the coaching crew. He needs to be spoken to, and he needs to realize that some mistakes can put Nigeria in trouble, because that's how we almost threw away the 2-goal lead against Lesotho the other day. Now, on this clip that you showed from yesterday, if I've watched it like 4 times, if you watch that clip again, the referee's whistle went just before the Benin striker put the ball in the net. His whistle went after Stanley had dropped the ball. The referee's whistle actually did go before the striker put the ball in the net. I think by later in the year, November or so, I think Maduka Okoye's ban will be done, so we can try and bring him back into the fold. And with Maduka in the fold, this is what happens in football. Once you know that there's somebody else who is sitting on the bench who is good enough to take your position, you will sit up. You will find you will approach things differently, and you probably if you were lax before, you will concentrate better. So yeah, listen, I think he's a fine goalkeeper, Stanley. I really do, and this is just a phase. He will be fine. He will be fine. I'm certain of that.
Oh. All right then. Looking forward to the game against Gabon. We know that they've got some peculiar players, talking about the likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Mario Lemina, just to name a few. How should Eric Chelle and the Super Eagles approach this game, considering the fact that, it's a semi-final format, and then they've got to play the final against the victor between Cameroon and Burkina Faso? The goal is to be able to obviously get to the intercontinental playoff. So how should Nigeria approach the game against Gabon?
Again, the most important thing, this is by far the most important thing, we have our players fit. Once we have our players fit, we won't come this far to be stopped by Gabon. No, it's not happening. I like I said on Saturday, we would not be needing to beat Benin Republic to progress in a World Cup qualifier at home, and we won't do that. We will not get this far to try and progress in a World Cup qualification, and we'll go to a neutral ground like Morocco with everybody fit, and we're going to lose out to Gabon. It's not happening. Everybody fit, we're beating Gabon. I could bet my house on that. Everybody fit, we're beating Gabon. Now it becomes a different conversation when we're playing the winner of Cameroon and the DRC. Now that is a different conversation. But yeah, if our players are fit, I am fairly confident we will make the final intercontinental playoffs in March. I really do feel that.
All right, we look forward to November when Nigeria will take on Gabon. And like you said, if our players are fit, we are praying for them, praying for their legs, praying for their careers, for them to be fit enough. I want to see a fantastic Chukwueze play for Nigeria and seal that qualification for the final intercontinental berth for Nigeria and hopefully make it to the World Cup. I say thank you very much, Calvin Emeka, Chief Publisher at ACL Sports. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
All right.